Good morning, Reed here. I'm figuring out my schedule for these videos, so thanks for joining me as I do my little walkabout in my backyard little garden zone. You can hear probably, the water siphoning out from the aquaponics setup here. But this is something I'm super excited about. My little sorrel patch, and this is like more of a culinary one. This stuff is so delicious, ultra lemony, great, that little extra kick of flavor in a salad. And I just like eating it. And we got some nice rain last night. It was great. Here, I'll show you this other thing. Pretty excited. My wife picked up this mulberry tree at an event called Sadie's Saturday, and it is just doing great in this little box. It gets rained on by that little sprinkler you can see there. And I've got the tap on here because I'm watering in the greenhouse there. Now here, I'll show you the fish because they're nice and clear. There they are. And I'm really happy with this setup because ammonia tester, and it is just maintaining its level, which is fantastic. Chickens are happily moving about because I spread some of our food scraps. These 4 buckets have a mixture of comfrey and stinging nettle in them. Are just about ripe there. It's been a little over a week in that. And I have a serious rat infestation in my collection box here, which is not my favorite thing. You can see that little stick that's right there. I use that in trying to smack the that's interesting. Oh, I see, that's the, wow. So here, let's look. You see the white tap that's down below, taps me the piece of pipe that's in there. So that's where the water has to be to flow out into this. Now, the little chicken have broken. Honestly, I replaced them over the summer. They're still no good. In the chicken coop, I have a water container on that, but the rats threw the bottom seal of it, and so it no longer is fillable. I mean, I guess I could maybe fill it upside down. Maybe that's my strategy. I fill it upside down and see if that works. Here I'm filling that vessel, the chickens too. Hopefully enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to the whole thing today, but going into this IBC container out here will hopefully be good over the winter. It seemed like it was this past year, but I honestly didn't turn it on until late in the year. So we'll see how that functions and flows. And what else can I tell you? Well, yesterday we worked on firewood. My son, who's 3, was actually the one who really wanted to go and move firewood. And even when we didn't do it in the truck, he was still excited to be a part of it, which was fascinating. He got some new gloves, so he's all into that. It makes me really proud. Close up this back door now. And I'm just thinking about all the ways that we need to get ready for the winter out here. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to look at my manure and see if it's getting wet. Recognizing I still have a bit of roof that I need to clear off from all of the leaf litter that's on it. I had to bring a ladder over to do that. I will probably still do that today. Other pieces of humor, I use humor loosely, is that the tank that receives all the rain catchment from our roofs, because we function solely on rainwater here, the pump in that is broken and will hopefully get fixed in the next little while. But that's out of my control to a large extent. Now check this out, we got these beautiful flowers here. Now this plant is looking kind of small compared to this one here, but all the flowers are like doing nothing on that one. Which I'm like, what's up? I don't know. My take on my hugel beds and my greenhouse bed is that there wasn't enough potassium in there to help with the fruiting of things. And so that's been interesting to examine that and realize, okay, when I amend the beds in, once everything has gotten to sleep for that, I really need to make sure I take a lot of it's in this and spread it out over these beds and then cover it with that manure pile. I didn't really show you it, but it's back there from the chickens. And yeah, just trying to get everything ready for the winter. It's too bad the rain hit right because all those leaves there and a bunch of other ones that are all over the ground are now moist. I'm going to take them and fill up the chicken coop a bunch more so they can scratch it all up, peck through it, prepare it for next year. And I'm also really hoping in the realm of here, I want it to really seed itself. That's why I've let all those kale go to seed. There's a bunch of parsley that's over here that's going to seed. And I just want to spread that all out over this fenced in area right here. You can kind of see some of the T-posts so that ideally greens just kind of take over. I'm tempted to split up the sorrel that I showed you a moment ago and spread it around because it's doing great, and I'd like to get up to having 20 to 30 different kinds of greens growing, so that when I'm putting together my meal or whatever it is I'm cooking, I can even just munch on, get more greens into my diet. I don't need a ton of greens. I'm not going for a vegetarian thing, but I think the more varied our intake of leafy greens can be, the better off we are. And so the other thing is, I mentioned it before, my griddle, you can see it in the black down there. It's covered up, thank goodness. But I need to find the right spot for that to go so that when we're having all this rain, I can still cook with it. Building supplies, random little bops and bits. Anyway, with that, feel free to check out my website, bendingreeds.com. You sign up for my newsletter there, and you'll get a free tea ritual guide that my wife and I, similar to what my wife and I do every morning. And then you can find out about all my other offerings I'll be listing my book pretty soon in the shop space. I've got music up there. I'll be refining the shop space, which is in the works in this exact moment, over this next week or so. But appreciate you checking all that out. Have too much fun.